One.
Hi guys. Okay, so today is an exciting one. I've got Wes from Muhdo Health, who I've spoken to you guys a lot about. And basically, Wes is going to ask me a few questions today about my experience using Muhdo, and should hopefully benefit you guys a lot. So when you're ready, Wes, fire away.
Cheers, Dave, and thank you very much for having me on your call today, and welcome to the following. Yeah, today I just kind of want to talk through why you've done a DNA kit, what changes you may have made to your current lifestyle, and then the benefits that have occurred, because people don't understand that there are some really simple benefits that can occur from understanding your body better. So the first question I'd just like to ask you is why did you choose to do a Muhdo DNA profile?
Okay, so pretty simple, really. There's a couple of reasons. One, I turned 40 this year, which hit me quite full on. And so, I was kind of like, okay, so I really need to look into this, see what I can do to benefit my health. And the other one was, well, I'm into strongman, like to do a bit of strongman events every now and again. And so I wanted to see if I could get a bit of a competitive edge there as well.
Brilliant. So that's great news. So if you don't mind, could you just literally give a summary of some of your key results?
Yeah, that's cool. Although there were over sort of 300, so I'll pick a few that are sort of relevant to me and my following really. So above normal muscle power and stamina, great for me, perfect. Less risk of injury, again, fantastic. Good power to weight ratio, just what I need for strongman. The other one, which is quite a rare one, potential MSTN variant, which anybody who knows anything to do with the Beast, Eddie Hall, will know that he talks about that a lot. So I won't go into any detail about it. You guys can research that yourselves. So they were some of the really good positive ones. A few of the more negative ones, very poor response to sugars. So obviously I know to cut those out. Increased risk to cold and flus. What else did we have? So I need to top up my B6, B12, and selenium. And the only other one was a mild risk of gluten and gut irritation. So they were the negatives from the result.
That's brilliant. Like you said, there's such a variety of different areas, from sleep, stress, physical, vitamin mineral deficiency, supplements. So there's lots of areas there, and you've kind of covered the key ones for yourself, which is great. So from those key results that you found for yourself, what changes did you find you put in place in your lifestyle because of them?
Okay, well, so eating more high protein foods, because protein is something that came out in the result that protein is something that I process well. Obviously cutting out sugar, because it's something that I don't agree with at all. And I've also implemented taking those vitamins that have been suggested. So they're the main ones.
Good, and that's the good thing about the app, is it kind of gives you those actions in like a guideline to say, here's some top things and do these. And like we know by people, is from a psychological perspective, if you do one small thing at a time and you make a positive change, it always impacts you in a better way. So that's brilliant news. So from those changes you made, can you explain just some of the benefits that you've had in your lifestyle?
Well, I've lost 3 stone.
Wow.
So I mean that I'm a heavy guy, so I've got quite a bit more to lose. But so since I implemented those changes, I've lost 3 stone. Sleeping much better, because I think it's to do with cutting out the sugar. I think that's been the main part. So it mean, and obviously the sugar gives you loads of energy when you don't necessarily need it. What else? Definitely had much more energy, not as fatigued as normal. And again, I think I'm going to put that down to the vitamins. And yeah, so I think they're the main points, Wes, really.
That's awesome. So kind of, because you are, and you alluded to, you're a strong man, what can you say you may have changed now from a training perspective since you've had your results? Were there things that you've kind of were doing before and you've now gone, actually, I'm now doing this because of it? Or has it given you clarity to say, I was doing this and it's telling me I should be doing that? So happy days.
A bit of both, really. So obviously really pleased with the result, because all those things that I've talked about, you need as a strong man. But also I've sort of increased the intensity of the workouts, because actually I found out that I can do more. So there's that. The other side to it is actually the recovery. So the test came out that I should employ a more aggressive approach to recovery. So I went to see a chiropractor, showed her my results, and then she put me through a lot of pain. But actually, that process has helped me recover a lot quicker. So, been fantastic, really.
Brilliant, brilliant. Cool. So the next one would be, I know you've got a family. Have you had an impact from having your DNA on your family life? And if so, what would it have been?
Well, other than the impact of just having more energy to spend with my daughter, we've actually all gone gluten and dairy free just as a result. So my daughter was already, she's been dairy intolerant since she was born. But we all just decided, look, because my wife has done the test as well. She came up with a possible gluten intolerance. So did I. So we just cut it out altogether, and actually we feel just so much better as a result.
That's great news, and it's really good to see that you kind of had that impact with your family. I mean, because you've spoken about Eddie obviously had his whole family do it, and they basically created their own shopping list then from their DNA profile, because it told them, you've got these vitamin mineral deficiencies, you need to eat these sorts of foods, you need not to eat these sorts of food. And that's how he kind of then created a shopping list to then make sure that they're all eating, like you're doing now, the same sorts of food at the same time, because normally kids don't normally eat enough vitamins and minerals as it is. So if you can get them into eating what they should be eating, leafy greens and as much color as possible, hopefully they're getting those vitamins and minerals that they don't necessarily always get.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've definitely been eating more fish, all the sort of, we've looked at the dietary advice that's come through from doing the Muhdo test. And there's such good information in there, really right down to to boost every aspect of what you're possibly short of. For me, the selenium, I'd never heard of selenium before. So to find out that I needed to eat X, Y, and Z to get that right was brilliant. I just didn't know that before.
No, brilliant. And I want to say massive congratulations on obviously losing 3 stone in weight. That's incredible. So happy days. So kind of leads to my next question. Are you now generally feeling, better, your general well-being better?
Absolutely. I never knew when I decided to take the test that it would have the impact it has, to be honest. You think, particularly if you're already in the sporting industry, you think you know best, and you think you're doing the right things anyway. But a DNA test, it seems to be an insight into the things that you could never know any other way. You couldn't possibly know that you needed to top up on certain things, or you needed to eat certain things, or do certain things with your lifestyle, because you're just following what the general ideas are about what a fit person is. So you're just following that, and in reality, there are other things that you should be doing for you personally. It's a very personal thing, the DNA test.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And the final question I have, because obviously you've discussed about losing 3 stones, so you're achieving your body goals in the sense of you're able to lose weight. What kind of tips could you give to your followers on what they could do to obviously improve their health? It might not necessarily mean losing weight, it might be gaining weight, but can you give them some ideas around what they could do?
Well, I think firstly, there's the obvious things. So you got to eat right. You've got to look at your macros. And I mean, all of this will, the obvious thing I'm going to say, you would think, is get a DNA test done. But I'm not saying that just because you know, I've done it, or, you know, I'm looking to, you know, help sell kits or anything like that. I'm saying it because it genuinely is an individual thing. You know, make sure you're eating right, make sure you're exercising regularly, even if it's 3 times a week and it's half an hour to an hour 3 times a week. You will make such a massive difference to your goals, in terms of, it doesn't have to be, as you say, it doesn't have to be weight loss. It could be becoming more flexible. It could be just to generally improve, you know, your fitness levels. I think, you know, the key points, they're nothing new. It's no new science, but we miss it so often, and that's eating the right foods, exercise, and now we have the science behind us as well, with actually looking into our DNA. And I found it pretty impressive, really impressive actually.
Awesome. Well, Dave, thanks for that insight today into obviously your results, your lifestyle, and the benefits you've gained, because there's some really insightful stuff there. And I'm glad that we've had such a positive impact on yourself and your family. So that's brilliant news. And I'd like to obviously, you know, say thank you for your following for listening. And I'm sure if they've got any questions, feel free to reach out to Dave.
Yeah, please do. Any of you guys out there got any questions for me, on anything, the DNA stuff, obviously on the CBD stuff as usual, give me a shout. There's a lot of changes coming soon, to the page, so I'll keep you updated on that. And you're going to see a lot more of me, unfortunately, because as work slows down, I'm going to be around quite a bit over the Christmas period. So you'll have me to look at during lockdown. Yay! Anyway, guys, so thanks for listening. Wes, thank you so much for joining the call. It's been really insightful. Hopefully we can do it again soon, and speak to you guys soon. Cheers.